Hello, dear follower. Welcome to the Stories That Connect channel. Today, we're sharing a wonderful channeling from Quo, conducted on April 26, 2008. This text addresses the creative process and spirituality in the arts, both in creation and artistic experience. Often, we reflect on the incredible power of art. As an artist, there is a deep love for the experience of creating and witnessing created art. But sometimes, the question arises, are we truly serving someone by creating this art? Is it just a hobby or is there something more? Because there's a feeling that there is more. When immersed in creating a piece you love, you feel that the creator is present in that moment. Whether writing a story, a poem, a song, or painting, it's an incredible sensation. And recently, a channeling was found that addresses exactly this topic. For those who may not know, Quo is a group of higher-density beings who answer spiritual questions through a group called LL Research. They have been doing this consistently for 50 years, with integrity and authenticity. These channelings are directly related to the teachings of the Law of One, or the Ra material, and involve Ra and other higher-density beings. These messages are easier to understand but always bring deep knowledge and an energetic exchange that goes beyond words. When reading and experiencing these messages, there is an activation felt that is an experience in itself. You're probably listening to this on a Sunday, sitting outdoors, as one often does. And often these experiences are very different upon rereading. It's wonderful when personal experiences with these works are shared. The question of the evening was, could you discuss the spiritual principles behind the creative process of the arts? From a spiritual perspective, what are some of the differences in the creative process between poets, novelists, sculptors, painters, composers, actors, and playwrights? Carla, channeling, replied, "We are known to you as the principle of Quo. We greet you in the love and light of the infinite Creator, in whose service we come to you today. Thank you for calling us into your circle of seeking. It is a great privilege to be called, and we will do our best to share with you some of our thoughts on this fascinating topic of the spiritual principles behind the creative process. As always, we ask each of you who reads or listens to this material to keep your discernment sharp, so that you may extract what is useful to you from this conversation and leave the rest aside. We would be very grateful for this, as it allows us to speak freely without concern for infringing upon your free will or disturbing your process. The spiritual principle behind the creative process is that each entity is the creator. Each entity has the innate ability to create things that have never existed and to think thoughts that have never been thought. At this moment, there is an invitation to reflect on the transformative power of art and each person's own creative capacity. Every individual carries within themselves a divine spark, capable of creating and transforming. By embracing this ability, one not only connects with the Creator, but also serves the world around them, bringing beauty and inspiration to their own life and the lives of those around them. On planet Earth, in its third density, there is an abundance of creative tools and resources. The question that arises is, why do not all create? The challenge of creativity lies in maintaining or producing a way of seeing and perceiving that is original to the Creator. Current culture does not encourage original thinking, nor behaviors and attitudes directed inwardly. The culture in which we live promotes a consensual reality that is infinitely materialistic. It is like being surrounded by an immense sea, yet culture positions itself on a small island and declares, "This is the world. Do not go to sea. Do not dive into unknown waters. Here in this garden, there is food to eat and work to do. Live your life. Do not question, accept authority, and do not make waves. Do not row on the shores of the unknown." From a spiritual perspective, this consensual reality is illusion, and the water is the true reality. The creation of this small island is built from fear in every moment of our lives. On planet Earth, infinity and eternity are as close as your breath, as near as your heartbeat. Each moment on this seemingly solid Earth, with its mundane concerns, can open up in an instant and reveal the dazzling complexity, paradox, and mystery of the infinitude of the moment. The land disappears, and the waters invite, encourage, and attract the heart that seeks to escape from the island of consensual reality and dive into the waters of the unknown and the wonderful. It is worth noting that the artistic impulse exists in some form in every person. However, in some cases, the childhood environment is so laden with fear of the new that it prevents the exploration of this creative impulse. In other cases, a person may have great appreciation and delight in parts of the creative process, but lacks the necessary talent to manifest the artistic vision that is in their heart and soul. There is a certain percentage of people, many of whom are wanderers, whose nature and pre-incarnate choices of talents are such that they support the creative process. Artists and creators of intellectual properties are not a different species from other human beings on Earth. They are those whose gifts include a sensitivity to beauty that calls them to leave the island and enter the water. This metaphor is used because the difference between the non-magical and the magical, or between the non-creative and the creative, is the two-dimensional flatness of the earth underfoot and the figure walking on the earth at a 90-degree angle. There is no roundness. Life is shaped in squares. In the water, every drop of water is a globe. It is a circular universe appropriate to the circular energies of time, space, and metaphysical things. In reflecting on these words, may each person recognize the infinitude of the present moment and allow themselves to explore their creative depths, navigating beyond consensual reality to discover the unknown and the wonderful. May each person allow themselves to be called by the waters of creativity and dive into the fullness of their possibilities. There is something magical in the creative impulse that dwells within every true artist. From the outset, it is essential to distinguish between those who create out of an intrinsic need and those who see artistic production merely as a livelihood. Some, driven by an intellectual perspective, seek acceptance and sustenance through their skills without truly engaging with the artistic impulse. True artists, on the other hand, possess a spontaneous and irresistible need to create, an innate urgency to express what is within them. Dear friends and followers, I hope you enjoyed the inspiring text I shared with you. It was written with great care to provoke reflections on creativity, art, and our spiritual connection. Please like and comment on the video below about how the text resonated with you. I'm eager to hear your experiences and thoughts. Additionally, please share this video with your friends and family so more people can be inspired and reflect with us. Together, we can create a network of positivity and creativity that spreads everywhere. Thank you for being part of this journey. These artists are different from those who see artistic production as a career or job. Those who confine themselves to the lower chakras, even if they are talented singers or actors, fail to reach the depth of spiritual expression that true art can provide. The conversation, therefore, should focus on those artists who, regardless of whether they view their gifts as spiritual, are inevitably engaged in a spiritual exercise by connecting with the creative impulse. To truly access and manifest the creative impulse, the artist must open their heart, moving through the green ray chakra, and then ascend to the communication ray, the blue ray, and the faith ray, the indigo ray. Eventually, the artist must reach the violet ray, the portal to infinite intelligence. In this state, they are able to access inspiration and information beyond the ordinary, expressing the visions and insights they have gained in a unique way. They are like treasure hunters who find riches and feel compelled to share them. A notable example is musician Willie Nelson, beloved by many. When asked how he creates so many beautiful melodies, Willie replied that the melodies are always in the air, you just have to grab them and put words to them. This metaphor is incredibly accurate. Infinite possibilities flow through this portal for those who know how to access it. There is no end to the creative impulse. However, the great challenge faced by artists is the temptation to remain in the lower chakras, where energy is denser and more materialistic. To transcend this limitation, the artist must constantly seek to elevate their consciousness, allowing their art to flow from a higher and deeper source. Therefore, the message that should resonate with each follower is that true art is a spiritual journey. It is a call to dive into the depths of one's own soul and emerge with something genuine and powerful to share with the world. Each of us has the ability to connect with this infinite source of creativity. All it takes is the courage to explore beyond familiar shores and allow the creative spirit to guide us. May everyone find that inner flame and let it illuminate the path to authentic and transformative expression. The pathways of creativity are complex and profound, traversing various dimensions of being. When discussing chakras, it's easy to think of the higher ones: the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, and the spirituality portal. However, many artists prefer to remain only in these upper chakras, neglecting the lower ones, which can disconnect them from Earth and their incarnated lives. This is a temptation for those who love beauty, without realizing that true beauty begins with the chaos of birth, the blood, the cry, the intense light, and the terror. The creative process must daily and consciously descend to these origins of life: the root chakra, which deals with survival and sexuality, the sacral chakra, and the solar plexus chakra, which handle relationships and work. A complete alignment of the energy body is necessary to channel the strength and energy required to maximize the spiritual gifts of creativity without destroying the body, emotions, or mind, either quickly or slowly, due to lack of attention to the lower chakras and their issues. Each artist chooses, before incarnation, to bring with them various creative gifts. One may sing, another may be an excellent actor, one may write, another may paint. The differences between the various types of art are linked to the personality or character of the individual who strives to express artistic feelings and concepts. Some prefer to remain in the heart chakra and express themselves from there. These, in many cases, are performers such as musicians or creators of operas and ballets, who move from the heart. Others have a pronounced blue ray, feeling an irresistible need to communicate in new ways. Many of these are writers, playwrights, poets, and inspired teachers, as teaching itself is an art form. Many are drawn to the realms of faith, will, and magic. A blend of these energies is unique to each artist, and therefore the manifestation of this art will also be unique. Certainly, an artist can go through various phases in their life, moving from the heart to the desire to communicate, or to the desire to express the magic of life. These are the seas where the artist sails. Mathematics and proportions are intrinsic to the creative process, and if an artist is struggling to focus, working with mathematics, especially sacred geometry, can be helpful. If we look at language itself, it is sacred geometry. Each letter in a word has a specific energy. Each word, composed of certain letters, carries a particular energy. The study not only of language but of alphabets and symbols is infinitely fascinating and can be seen through the doorway of letters and words. As artists dive into these depths, each must remember to honor all aspects of their being, from roots to the highest spiritual reaches. It is in this integration that the true beauty and power of creation reside. May each follower reflect on the importance of balancing all dimensions of themselves to unleash the full potential of their creativity. May all find the courage to explore both the depths and heights of being, allowing the creative flame to illuminate not only their lives, but also the world around them. Infinite energy flows harmoniously through the creative process, evident in music. The mathematical relationships among the 12 notes of the Western scale, as well as among chords and triads, form the foundation upon which musicians build the beauty of a melody and the richness of a symphony. These proportions and harmonics are essential to musical creation, bringing forth the beauty and complexity of art. But what about the attraction that art, literature, and theater hold for non-artists and the general population? The truth is that while everyone is a creator, not everyone feels the urge to express their creativity overtly. Many people are firmly anchored in their consensual reality, preferring the ground to remain firm beneath their feet and the sky stable above their heads. These individuals hesitate to delve into the unknown, even though the creative impulse resides within each of us, as it is part of being an extension of the Creator. Each person is a sub-creator, possessing a magical ability to transform their world through faith and will. Even those who do not explore creativity in an original way can manifest this creative impulse in small acts of daily life. Whether arranging dolls, decorating a Christmas tree, preparing meals with love, or ingeniously raising children, creativity permeates all aspects of life. However, many people do not venture into intellectual creations because they feel secure within the boundaries of their lives. Still, magic happens when these individuals enter a theater, a cinema, an opera house, or a ballet venue. Sitting in the audience, they allow the artist to guide them through the waters of the unknown. They are not in control of the boat, but they enjoy the journey, knowing that this delightful dose of mystery and paradox will come to an end, and they will safely return to their familiar island. This experience can be seen as a way to balance the use of the brain hemispheres. While the left side of the brain deals with logic and the security of everyday life, the right side, responsible for creativity and intuition, often remains dormant. Art, therefore, awakens this dormant side, bringing a sense of well-being and making the appreciator feel creative as well. This awakening is contagious. The artist, in this context, is someone capable of condensing the vastness of human experience into an offering small enough to be contemplated as a whole. In this compression into images, metaphors, melodies, and other elements, there is an intensification of power. The artist can then break through barriers of fear and lead the audience to a place of freedom and love. Reflecting on these ideas, followers are invited to perceive art as a journey that allows us to explore the depths and heights of human experience. May all find inspiration to venture beyond the bounds of the known, diving into the waters of creativity and discovering new forms of expression and connection with the world around them. May art be a bridge to freedom and love, illuminating the path to a more fulfilling and authentic life. The artist has a special inclination to reveal truths that escape the masses around them or have become so terrifying that they are ignored. Moreover, an artist possesses the unique ability to guide a people, a nation, or even the world through the process of mourning and sorrow, creating beauty within that suffering and despair. There is a growing perception that something is in the air. It could be said that the new era is in the air. The veil between consensual reality and infinite divine intelligence is tearing, allowing easier entry. Vibrations of truth are bombarding planet Earth. Waves and waves of clarity and true perception are interpenetrating with the vibration of third density in a way that cannot be ignored. Those deeply asleep may feel these waves of energy as increasing difficulties, leading them to close themselves off more and focus only on survival. This happens because they have not yet embraced themselves, known themselves, accepted themselves, and ultimately recognized the Creator within themselves. However, every human being on planet Earth today is capable of breaking through these barriers and using these energies positively. It takes tremendous courage to open oneself to these waves of perception and say, I am ready for this journey. I will use this energy to see myself more deeply, accept myself more fully, love myself more intensely, see the Creator within me, and honor this divine spark. These are wonderful times as humanity approaches graduation day, the moment after which every death on Earth will be fully open to the possibility of advancing to fourth density. Not only the planet and the entire solar system are receiving these incredible waves of energy, signaling the end of the third density and the beginning of the new era of the fourth density, but there is also a huge interest in helping those who wish to advance in service to others. The spiritual spheres are teeming with beings who have come to experience this time of change with the incarnated beings of planet Earth. Angelic entities are everywhere, as are the spirits of nature, all wishing to participate, sing, and dance with humanity, inviting everyone to dance this dance towards the sun, the light, and the dawn of a new day. We ourselves, among those who have been drawn to your planet at this time, are here to humbly and modestly offer our insights and information to those who may find them useful or valuable. Increasingly, one can expect to see artistic impulses in the children of the planet, as they are born with the specifics of entities who will live part of their lives in the fourth density. They are biologically prepared for both third and fourth density within their DNA, and consequently, they can access much more creative information. The veil is much thinner at this time. Dear friends and followers, I hope you have enjoyed the inspiring text I shared with you. It was written with much care to provoke reflections on creativity, art, and our spiritual connection. Please like and comment on the video below about how the text resonated with you. I really want to hear your experiences and thoughts. Also, please share this video with your friends and family so more people can be inspired and reflect with us. Together, we can create a network of positivity and creativity that spreads everywhere. Thank you for being part of this journey. This If there are any other issues to address, we are here to respond. May each find courage and inspiration in these times of change, and may art continue to be a guiding light for all. Quo was asked about the relationship between empathy and the creative process. In response, he elucidated a profound distinction between empathy, the ability to feel with another being, and the individual creative process. It's like the difference between a horizontal action and a vertical action. When a person is so open-hearted that they can put themselves in another's shoes, walking a mile in their footsteps, they perform a creative act. That person has accepted their brother as themselves, taken on their burdens, and experienced something they could never experience in their own life. This demonstrates a magical and loving personality with a unique spiritual maturity of those who have awakened and become capable of being magical beings. However, this energy exchange is empathy, and it is horizontal. It is from person to person. Each offers the dynamics of the creator between them. However, the creator is not something for which the empathetic person is searching. Empathy is person to person, eye to eye, and heart to heart. In the creative process of an artist working with imagination, there is a vertical energy where the artist opens up to higher energies, superior perceptions, and transformative and magical nuances that they feel and then go hunting for, like on a treasure hunt. This is a vertical energy. It decisively moves someone out of the box of consensual reality and into the awareness that the ground beneath you is merely an illusion, and that in truth there is infinity below, infinity above, and eternity on both sides. Quo also mentions that an artist's aesthetic sense is as unique as their personality. An artist tends to create from perceptions that make something new from the familiar and take what is known to places where it becomes something unknown. An example is the work of an artist who turns plastic water bottles into superficially beautiful photographs expressing deep concern for the planet Earth. "Look at all these water bottles," says the artist with this photo. "Look at this sea of water bottles we use and discard in just one day." A vast sea of transparent bottles fills the frame of the photo, and beneath the undulating wave of crystalline beauty lies the message. Another example comes from times of horror and war. An artist known as Boogle painted what he saw, and to this day people can look at the painting and have an immediate perception of the nature of human suffering. It's not that dark things are beautiful in themselves, just as positive or enlightened things are not beautiful in themselves. It is the perception that the flat view of a postcard can burst into a multitude of concepts that drives beauty. Through these words, Quo invites reflection on the magic of creativity and the depth of empathy, encouraging us to look beyond appearances and to value the complexities and infinite possibilities that reside in every creative act. Quo was asked about the nature of negative polarity and karma, and how someone suffering and in a position of powerlessness can still polarize negatively. Quo explained that indeed, it is possible for an entity in a position of powerlessness to strongly polarize towards the negative. This is because negative polarity involves seeing all others as objects to be used and feeling oneself as the master of creation. An entity with this basic mindset, when in a position of powerlessness, can spend the entire incarnation refining their anger and disdain, becoming sharper and more distant from everyone except themselves. When speaking of negative polarity from a metaphysical standpoint, Quo does not focus so much on the outer state, but on the possibilities of whether or not to follow the path of separation. A negatively polarized being, whether they are at the top or bottom of society, is equally capable of enhancing their hatred and separation from others. The energy of Quo's instrument was dwindling, so with great reluctance, Quo bid farewell affectionately, leaving a message of love and light from the infinite creator. Reflecting on this channeling, Quo offers us wonderful insights into art and spirituality. Art is seen as a spiritual experience, an expression that takes us away from the island of consensual reality and into the vast ocean of infinite possibilities. Each entity is inherently a creator, capable of thinking original thoughts and creating new things. However, consensual reality and cultural conditioning often discourage us from accessing this creative potential. Being creative requires breaking free from limited materialistic thinking and diving into mysteries and infinite possibilities. Beyond consensual reality, there is a fascinating process of opening the heart, throat, third eye, and crown chakras, drawing inspiration from intelligent infinity. It's intriguing when they say artists can get stuck in the upper chakras, emphasizing the need to balance the chakras to stay grounded in the red, orange, and yellow rays. This indeed makes a lot of sense, as without being anchored in the world, one might end up escaping it, more interested in what is happening in their imagination than in the reality around them. Different types of artists work intensely with different chakras. Performers like musicians and dancers create from an open heart, while writers, communicators, and singers work with the blue ray. Those dealing with faith and magic operate from the indigo ray. However, everyone must ground themselves by balancing the lower chakras. Non-artists are drawn to art because it allows them to temporarily escape the island of consensual reality and access the creative impulse within themselves, even if they do not create art personally. Art compresses vast truths into accessible forms, and when you are drawn to art, remember that it is the artist within you that is being drawn. And for those who say, "I'm not an artist, I've never been good at art, I'm not creative," that simply isn't true. You are an artist, and if you seek and explore that creativity within you, wonderful things will happen. There is a growing interest in creativity today, due to the transformative energies bombarding the planet as the veil thins before the birth of the fourth density. Empathy between people is a horizontal exchange at the heart level, while true artistic creativity is a vertical connection with higher inspirations. Therefore, I challenge you to participate in the Creativity Challenge, something I have mentioned several times on the podcast and in my book. It changed my life and will change yours too. Over the next 30 days, do something creative every day. Anything creative. If you don't know what to do, you can draw or doodle a stick figure on a piece of paper. You can scribble, write a story, create a song, cook a new dish, redesign your home, or alter a piece of clothing. But it has to be something creative, every day, for 30 days. Essentially, Quo is saying that creativity is a universal birthright of all beings as co-creators with the One, and a way to transcend limitations by opening oneself to inspiration beyond the illusion of consensual materiality. Artists serve as pioneers in this process, and you are an artist. Something I found extremely powerful was using my art as a form of magic. Anyone who follows me on Facebook or Instagram and has visited my website, www.newearth.art, knows that I infuse my intention and magic into my creations. I use magical numbers or golden codes, write on the canvas, and then paint. I've found that these art pieces become transmitters of my intention. If I want a piece of art to convey love, I do so, and it becomes a broadcasting station for that feeling. When you hang that painting, it becomes even more powerful than any statement, transmitting the energy you've infused into it. This has been absolutely wonderful, and you can ask anyone who has purchased my art. We've sold over 2,100 paintings on our website, and I constantly receive messages saying they send chills. You can create your own art using this technique, and it can become magical in your life. It could be music, anything you imagine, and this art, now in the fourth density, can become a beacon that transforms lives. This has been happening for centuries, but now it's empowered.